it's Chris Gill. We're here with Nick DiMatteo of Crossfit OTG. This is 7-7. We're going to do 7 questions in about 7 minutes. Nick is the owner of Crossfit OTG on Fire Road in Egg Harbor Township. He's also involved with some other interesting ventures that we'll touch on later. Nick, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Before we talk about CrossFit, we're going to ask some questions about you, Nick. Okay? So you're a year-round Ocean City resident, and that's great. And how about you tell us about your family, why you chose Ocean City, and what you guys do for fun?
So we came down, I guess, 7 years ago. My wife's a math teacher at Ocean City High School.
Okay.
So I was working up in Williamstown, and we had this gym in EHT, and we had another gym in Williamstown with a former partner of mine. And we split, and I ended up taking this gym just so I could be around her more. So I moved in with her down here, as opposed to me living in Williamstown and making that commute back and forth. So that's how I ended up in Ocean City. I never saw myself in Ocean City. I was always a local guy from where I was, like the Franklinville, Williamstown area.
Okay.
So this was really wife-induced.
I gotcha.
At the time, girlfriend-induced.
And now you love it?
Yeah, I do love it. It's a totally different atmosphere down here. Completely different communities from gym to gym, which made it even more interesting to want to stay, just because this group's a little more laid back and a little more chill and a little bit more fun too.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So the word on the street is that you don't eat out too often, but what's the place right now that would get you running out the door, jumping out of your chair, and if there is a place, what's your favorite menu item on it in that place?
So if we venture out, like you said, it's not very often. We're homies. We like to cook a lot. My wife would like to get out a lot more. She loves her coffee, so we'll go out for that. But I'd have to see. It'd have to be in the Caesars Casino.
Okay.
Is that the Walk? What is that considered?
The Pier. The Pier.
The Pier.
The Pier.
What's the name of it? It's giving me now.
Is it Budokan or Continental?
It is Budokan.
Budokan. That's one of my favorites. I love Budokan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their sea bass just melts in your mouth. So that's usually my go-to item is fish on the menu.
Right.
Unless I'm going to a steakhouse, then I get a really nice, hopefully a nice fillet or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fish guy when I go out. Fish guy when I'm home too.
I love Budokan.
Yeah.
Coconut fried rice is my favorite. Okay, so how about you tell us about your upbringing, your childhood? Like, were you an adventurous kid? Were you athletic? Did you play a lot of sports? And also, did you always have this great energy that you carry with you today when you were a kid?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I don't recall. I mean, I always remember having a lot of energy when I was younger, and my mother just throwing us outside to let us go.
Right.
Work it off. But yeah, we were into bike riding and freestyling back then in the 80s, and we did a lot of skateboarding. We did a lot of ramps with bikes.
Right.
That moved into a little karate, I think, as I got a little bit older.
Okay.
And then I moved into, we always played soccer, I think I was like 6 or 7. And I played soccer all the way through my 30s. Did baseball. Played tennis in high school, played soccer in high school and college, and then played an amateur soccer league after that. But yeah, I was always really active. I don't remember having a lot of energy like I do now, as far as like being in the mornings.
Right.
I was never really a morning person. Never really a morning person.
Kid, right?
Yeah, as a kid, I was waking up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, like watching Saturday cartoons and the whole thing.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
But I think waking up early started when my dad started a bakery in '93, right when I started college.
Oh, cool.
So I was having to wake up on the weekends as a college student, Saturday and Sunday, to work at the bakery. So that kind of, I guess, weaned me into waking up a little earlier and having to function at those hours.
You found out what you could get done by getting up early in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I had the rest of the day to recover from whatever I was doing before.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to touch on CrossFit. So CrossFit continues to grow in popularity around the world, and can you tell us how you got involved in CrossFit and why you think it's taken off like it has?
Yeah, back in 2006, my brother was a U.S. Air Marshal, and he ended up on a plane with a guy going to Texas, I think. And the guy was from Texas, and he had done CrossFit. The other Air Marshal had done CrossFit. So he talks my brother, who was a former Marine, into doing this workout,
Okay.
which doesn't take a lot to talk him into doing something
Right.
pretty crazy. He's way more adventurous than I am. So he ends up doing this workout, calls me up out of breath. I can't understand a word he's saying. I'm like, Tony, you need to call me back. I have no idea what you're saying. He calls me back 5 minutes later. He explains CrossFit to me.
Was he excited?
Yeah, I just couldn't breathe. He couldn't from the workout.
We've
You
been
gotta
there.
try it.
We've all
You
been
gotta
there.
try this. It's so good. I'm like, what? So he says, go to CrossFit.com. I'm like, CrossFit? Like those two words
Right.
back then didn't make sense. They didn't go together. It was either cross training or you're working out. You're some type of bodybuilding. So I go on the website. I see the workouts. He's like, yeah, just pick something you can do. And I'm scrolling. I'm like, God, I don't know how to do a thruster. I don't know how to do a snatch. I don't know how to do a rope climb. I don't know how to do a handstand push-up. And I just kept going. I called him up. I like, Tony, I don't know how to do any of these workouts. He's like, just keep scrolling. You'll find something. And I ended up finding a bodyweight workout, which was pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats. And I was actually private training a bunch of my soccer players at the time.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. The workout was 20 minutes. I did it for 10. I was annihilated. My squats were like not even close to where they should be.
Yeah.
My pull-ups, there was no kipping involved. There was no strategies. There's no technique around any of the movements. So I was humbled. I got like 5 rounds and change, almost 6. I go on the website, CrossFit.com website, and
Okay.
everyone posts their scores, and some people did half like I did, and
Yeah.
they were getting twice as much as me. So my ego blew up. I'm like, well, how is this possible? I'm like super fit. I'm working out every day.
Okay.
And then I end up in a conversation with these people. I'm like, you are doing this every week. Like, I guarantee. Like, no, we're just doing CrossFit. We do it once every like 4 months whenever this thing pops up. So I
Okay.
didn't believe them until I tried it. I said, all right, I'm going to commit to doing this for 3 months.
Right.
Whatever I can, on the website, whatever I can figure out. And then I'll redo this one. And I did. I doubled my score in 3 months. And I'm like, oh my God, this stuff works.
Wow.
So that's how I got sold. It wasn't like the first workout. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my God, first workout, I'm sold, blah, blah, blah. I was an naysayer. Like, it took a lot for me.
Yeah, my first workout here didn't sell me either.
What'd you do, baseline back in the day?
I don't know. Joe Doyle took me in here. So, yeah, well, let's talk about me for a second. I found CrossFit. It was kind of a rough time. And I needed to get control of my physiology to put the rest of myself in a better place, and I want to thank you for helping me in that journey. So, right here at OTG, you just celebrated, we are celebrating your 10-year anniversary in this location.
Crazy.
And you've been responsible for improving a lot of human beings' fitness and health, right? Now, how many people do you estimate that you've put on a better path than when they arrived here? And how do you figure your own personal development has helped to shape the community?
It's upwards of 3,500 people, I'd
Okay.
say, we've had pass through our doors.
Wow.
I mean, that includes a lot of transient people who are drop-ins or people that have moved here for these armed services and then moved back away.
Right.
But yeah, it's quite a bit of people. I mean, having to like digest that. It's
It
pretty
is.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever thought about that before.
No, it's interesting the amount of. So this was a life-changing experience for me.
Sure.
So to like have people go through that and have me be a part of that is like an honor.
Yeah.
To think that I've been a part of that many people's lives is.
Yeah.
It's tough to
It's
take in.
definitely changed my path in terms of my fitness and also just probably my mindset.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
I think that was huge for me. I mean, you touched on the point of like personal development. I mean, I'm a big fan of learning, always trying to grow
Right.
personally, and then that, as an example, then would potentially bleed into other people, hence the community. But yeah, I do feel like my personal development is a really, really big anchor as to how this place is run. Always challenging, like that's kind of the next thing.
An anchor, that I like that. That's good. That's a good way to put it, though. You have to keep it together to keep everybody
Yeah.
else together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not if you're not locked and loaded, and there's plenty of times where I've not been locked and loaded in this position where the stress of the business and,
Right.
you know, all of that's been, you know, weighing on me, but without having that foundation to work through those things is, yeah, it's important. That's why a lot of businesses, I think, fail. I think a lot of the time it's just because they don't have a strong base of
Right.
either confidence, self-esteem, or
And
drive, or
This
whatever.
is different. There's a lot of people that are depending on seeing you to mirror what they, kind of how they need to be. So you've recently launched a new online, I don't know if it's called a mobility program that anyone can use. And as someone who gets older every day, me,
You do
it's
too?
very interesting to me. So can you tell us about that and then how the public can access this?
Yeah, that's a really cool program, and that kind of blossomed and birthed out of CrossFit, because when I was going through my CrossFit experience, I would find that CrossFit would expose all these injuries that I had in the past. It would prevent me from doing XYZ, or I would get injured, I would get hurt. So I always found that it wasn't CrossFit that was the cause of these issues. Like people say, oh, I got hurt at CrossFit. I'm like, no, you came into CrossFit injured, and CrossFit exposed those inefficiencies that you had, or deficiencies.
Right.
So I'm like, well, how do we correct this? And I've been to chiropractors, PTs, I've been to ART people, I've been to, you name it, I've been to a Goscu therapist. I mean, there's a plethora of different avenues. And having done these things, a lot of these things you needed to physically go to the place, do X, Y, Z, and then you had to keep going. You had to keep going. And that was like really putting off to me, because I'm like, it seems like you're not fixing me, you're just correcting me for the time being. And I wanted to be fixed. So then I went into a whole different area of understanding of, you know, physiology and structural alignment and anatomy, and then I've spawned this. It's the Health and Fitness Academy, and it's Form Follows Function is the name of the program.
Okay.
And there's varying degrees of Form Follows Function. So that could be like, you got a shoulder issue, work on your shoulders. Elbows, all these structural alignment.
A knee
You have a
issue?
knee issue, you work on your knee. And we have a program that just, we do your entire body, and then we have a supplemental add-on that is something you can continue doing for the rest of your life every single day. As
Okay.
opposed to like just working on an issue that you're currently having,
Right.
which I find to be priceless. And we try to mix those into our warm-ups as best we can without people even knowing that we're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. We also do a little instruction of movements too, so you'll see, you know, how to do a clean, how to do a jerk, how to do a snatch, like all those things will all be built into, not the Form Follows Function course, but into the Health and Fitness Academy umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll put a link up on this
Cool.
video for people that
Yeah.
want to get in touch with you for that.
Excellent.
So lastly, what are the plans for the future for Nick, for the DiMatteos? I don't know if I'm saying it right.
They're both good.
And for OTG.
Obviously, we love to grow our community here at OTG. I'll start with that. I mean, the way we grow is we don't do a lot of advertising, so we rely on our members, and
Right.
our experience that we give the members hopefully transcends into them wanting to spread the word about their experience here, their results here, and obviously the great time that they're having, along with getting super, super fit.
Right.
As far as our family, we're still searching for a house. So
Okay.
we're now we live in an apartment in Ocean City. We've done that for, you know, off and on for 7 years in different places, but maybe off the island so we can afford something. It's still expensive on the island, so that's what we're
Right.
looking forward to doing, getting the house.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking and exciting. Like, now I'm gonna be married to one person, but now you're married to a house for the next 30 years or whatever. But yeah, pretty neat. As far as me, I mean, I definitely want to grow that side of the business, because I feel like that's really, really important for people to actually integrate into their lives. Not just the fitness side, yes, the nutrition side is awesome too, but being able to wake up and do an exercise that's going to help you reset or realign your back, your hips, your knees, so then you can go about your day is, I think, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, that's right. You said
Excited.
you're in the
Yeah.
try the knee one.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. I think we definitely hit the 7-minute mark, so we're not going to have to do any verbiage. until the rest of the time.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick, and appreciate your time.
Okay.
All right.